Hello, and it's good to welcome you here. We're in St Piran's Church today for Messy Church.
Yes, and it's really great to be in a church. We haven't used the church building, have we?
No, we haven't. No, I thought it'd be good really after your glitter expertise last time.
I don't think it was for the glitter. We know that we're allowed to do worship in church, aren't we? And Messy Church is definitely worship. Now I'm not quite sure what Roxy's just done with her blanket.
Clearly didn't think much of it.
No, she didn't, did she? There you go, Rox. Just lie there. Lie down. That's it. She does love Messy Church though, and she knew exactly where she was coming today when we came into church. So anyway, have you had a good couple of weeks saying thank you?
Yeah, it's been good. We've lots of things to be thankful for. Lots and lots of things going on. And even in difficult times when life's got a bit more challenging again, but there's still lots of things to say thank you. So
it has, and I just wonder if you've remembered to say thank you, maybe some of the things that you've said thank you for as well, are things that have been really good over the last couple of weeks, because things have been different again since we last met, haven't they?
Absolutely. So, but it's always good to say thank you, isn't it? And the thing I loved actually during that first lockdown and the things that we did was when we said thank you by clapping for everybody and putting those rainbows
for the NHS and for all those people that still work and have to work.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love those rainbows, and I thought we could use rainbows today as our theme.
Lovely, lovely. So why don't we go and do our craft? Because I think there's a good link to rainbows there, isn't there?
Absolutely. So here's my rainbow that I made. Really nice, quite easy, quite straightforward, not difficult.
Yeah,
I do love rainbows.
And earlier we put this up in the window, didn't we, to show everyone what it looked like, because it's actually a stained glass rainbow.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And it looked lovely, didn't it? Really
good. It looked gorgeous. So you've all seen it. Now, Anne, you're going to show us how to make one, but because it has been a little bit fiddly, we have cut out a few bits and pieces earlier. So I obviously have made a bigger rainbow than you.
Your rainbow's bigger than my rainbow, isn't it?
Look, everybody, I cut out a big rainbow. And I did cut up some ribbons as well. Now, all this is just some pieces of tissue paper cut into thin strips. So Anne, what are we going to do with these strips of paper that I've given you?
Do you know which way the rainbow goes? Can you remember from school?
Red and yellow and pink and blue.
See,
orange and purple. No?
Well, I was told it's Richard of York gave battle in valour. There we are.
So that's red, Richard of orange, York yellow, gave, that must be green, battle, that must be blue.
I'm afraid I've only got an indigo. There we are.
And that would have been, what should that have been?
Indigo. And violet then. Richard of York gave battle in valour.
Valour. That's
I can only just
that's
about
nearly violet.
I can only just about remember that, but that was from my physics at school.
Richard of York gave battle in valour. That works. That works. I think that's good. Thank you for that. I didn't know
there
that.
We are. So now you've got to make sure that you're careful about how you do them, otherwise they overlap and they look a bit odd. So we are.
So what I'll do is, if I glue up the side of the black paper,
much easier.
Shall I do that? Because I reckon that tissue paper's a bit.
Oh,
only I could use too much glue. A bit like glitter, though, everybody.
And it took ages.
Such a thing as too much glue.
It took ages for my husband to clear the glitter up off our floor last week. I'm so pleased we're in church, actually.
I can't make quite so much mess in church. Well, I can.
You can, but it's much easier
Anne's
to clear
husband
up.
Doesn't have to clear up after me. Okay, Anne, so there's my glue.
There's your first
so
colour.
if I do this one and make sure it covers
the
bottom there. Lovely. Okay, I can always cut off the extra, can I?
Yep, there we are.
I got a bit too much glue down this end. Let me just move this back into the middle. I'm sure everyone can see what I'm doing. Yes, they can. Not too much crossover, but maybe a little bit.
It's fine.
And then my yellow. So Richard of York gave. See, I'd forgotten already. Gave
battle
in valour. Is that right?
In vain or in valor, doesn't matter. There we are.
Okay, right.
There we are.
Right. Oh,
There we are.
wonderful, wonderful. So let me just
Cut your colours off at the
cut
end.
off these bits here. Again, you haven't got to use great big scissors like this. In fact, I think a smaller pair of scissors might be a little bit easier, don't you?
And then if you want to turn it
So
over.
then if I turn it over, hang on. Oh, look at that.
How brilliant is that? There we
That's
are.
not bad, is it? Can you see that? I'm just wondering if I hold it up a little bit, you can see the light coming through. That's amazing. Thank you, Anne. Richard of York gave Battle in Valour. I shall remember my rainbow colours. Now, there is a Bible story that I was thinking about when you suggested making rainbows to say thank you.
One of my favourites.
Go on, what is it?
Noah.
Yes, I was thinking of exactly the same one.
Noah
And
and
do you
the
know, I did actually think of another craft that we could do very quickly.
Oh, okay.
So
What have we got?
I have got, if you move the rainbow
I'll move
over
the
to
rainbow.
one
Yep,
side,
here we are.
I'll bring in
Leave him there so we can see
my
his stuff.
next craft. Now, these are often associated with the Noah story, and I know Anne's going to tell us that earlier, but I've made a little dove. Now, you can hang these up. Sorry, there it is. You can see the shadow and not the real thing. And I thought we'd just make another one of these.
Oh, okay,
What do you
that's
think?
great. Yeah, that looks lovely, yeah.
Very easy, and does make us think of the Noah story as well. So if you want to cut out, I've done some templates. So if you want to cut out,
Shall I cut him out?
yes, please. That's
You
great.
trust me with the scissors.
I do.
My mummy never used to
You
trust me.
trusted me with glitter, so I have to trust you with scissors. And while Anne's doing that, I'm just going to show you how I made the wings. And this is very simple. I know Anne's done something like this before when we've done craft. You just fan a thin piece of white paper back and forth until you've used up the whole thing there. And then, Anne, when you've cut out your dove, if you can just make a little slit in the middle, that's probably the hardest bit because you've got nothing to start with, have you?
No. There we are.
Okay, so there we
I've made that
go.
quite wide enough.
Only needs to fit this bit of paper through, and actually a tight fit might be a little bit better. So there's my
Okay.
concertinaed
And there's my dove.
wings, and Anne's got the dove. So Anne, do you want to, I've got a dove already, so if I let
Okay.
you have this one.
Okay.
If you just slip those wings through there, so they're about halfway through. There should be a bit of a bend in the middle. Lovely.
Open them
And
up.
it's that simple. Open the wings up a little bit. There
And
we
I
go.
suppose actually if we just put a bit of glue on there.
Ah, you see, she's very clever. I might do exactly the same, you know.
There we are.
What Anne did is she just put
There we are.
a little bit of glue on the middle wing, like that. And there.
Our adults.
Oh, see, yours sticks, mine doesn't. But my rainbow was bigger than your rainbow.
Oh, okay. But my dove's got a nicer tail than yours.
Your dove has got a nicer tail than
Yeah.
mine. There we are.
And actually,
So-
they would be really good, wouldn't they? Because I get quite excited about Christmassy things, and these would look lovely. Little ones dangling as Christmas decorations.
would.
And you could do glitter.
I could do glitter on my doves. And you know, in St Column Church, we have a baptism tree. And when we do a christening or a baptism for anyone, whether it's an adult or a child, we write their name on one of these doves.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, so I'm very familiar with these, and somebody makes those for us. So we have lots of doves in St Column Church. And yes, I think on Christmas trees, for Christmas decorations, if you're looking for something to do while you're at home at weekends, maybe make some Christmas decorations and get some silver glitter.
Oh,
That would be great.
silver and gold glitter. And there
I
we
wonder,
are.
let's hold this up behind the doves and
There we
see
are.
a little bit
There we are.
closer. There we are. Let me move the camera in a little bit. There we are. That's brilliant.
There we are.
There we
So that's
go.
brilliant.
There's
There we
our
are.
craft.
Our crafts for today.
Lovely. So I think you need to tell us a story about Noah now.
Okay. That's not a problem.
Well done, Rox. I think you've settled again now, haven't you, after our craft? So, Anne, you're going to tell us this wonderful story that we've been talking about, the story of Noah.
The story of Noah. I love the story of Noah. Now, Noah's a really sad story in some ways, isn't it? Because the world had turned into a really bad place and people were really not nice. And God looks at the world and he finds Noah, who is the last really good person around. And so God thinks he's going to start all over again. And he asks Noah to build an ark. And I always think that's, you know, if God speaks to you and asks you to do something, it's often really difficult.
But an ark? I mean, we're not talking a little boat either,
No,
are
we're not. We're talking a big boat. And so Noah does what God asks him. He builds the boat and then he starts collecting animals to go in. And he collects the animals.
And he's got his family to help him, though.
Absolutely.
He's allowed to take his family with him.
Absolutely. And he gets the animals in there. I think it must have smelled awful. I mean, sorry. I mean, you just think about it. Awful lot. I mean, you know, I used to clean out my chickens and they smell. Can you?
I don't mind having Roxy on the bed with me, but I draw the line at chickens.
Okay.
I've got to say, I would. Yes, you're right. It probably did smell quite a lot because every single animal that walked the earth, Noah and his family had to collect.
Yep.
One man, one male, and one female of every animal.
That's an awful lot of animals.
It is a lot.
Anyway, so
but it is a story.
It's a story. And so in the story, Noah gets all the animals and he gets his family and it begins to rain. And it begins to rain.
And it rains.
And it rains.
And it rains some more.
And a lot more.
Shall we go on?
And it rains for 40 days and 40 nights.
It rains an awful lot. If you think we've seen rain, this was rain beyond belief.
Rain of biblical proportions.
Yes.
It's where it comes from. And so it stops raining, and slowly and slowly and slowly the water begins to go down.
But how long did it rain for altogether? Did you tell us that? I'm sure
40
you did.
days and 40
I
nights.
wasn't listening. 40 days
and 40 nights. And it
yes.
rains. And slowly it begins to dry up. And Noah sees that it's beginning to dry out, and he decides the first thing he's going to do is he's going to send a bird out to see whether it's dry and there's anything for the bird to land on. So he sends out a raven first of all, and the raven goes out and he flies backwards and forwards, can't find anywhere and comes back. So Noah waits a bit longer, and then he sends out the dove. And the dove goes out.
Like the doves we made earlier.
Absolutely, and the dove comes back. And he's got something in his beak, a little bit of green shoot. So no one knows that there are trees out there beginning to grow.
There'd have to be, wouldn't there? Because the rain was so high when it rained, and the waters went to such a high level that even the trees and things were covered, weren't they?
And so slowly they recedes, and he sends the dove out again, and this time the dove doesn't come back. It's because the dove has found somewhere to roost.
Somewhere to make a nest,
Absolutely.
Maybe with the other dove.
Absolutely.
Now, I was just looking at the front cover of that, and there, when the dove went out, is a rainbow in the back. Because I guess after 40 days of rain, suddenly a little bit of sun, you would see the most amazing rainbow.
Yeah, well, the story goes that because God really didn't like what had happened in the flood and all the damage that was done, he promises never to do that again. And as a sign of that promise, he puts a rainbow in the sky. And so every time I see a rainbow, I think of God's promise never to cause something like a massive flood again, and actually know that God keeps his promises. He's always there for us. And I think that rainbow, when we gave thanks earlier on in the year, just reminded me that God is still with us and really present, even though it seems really difficult and times are really challenging.
It does, because
are a sign of hope.
There has been floods, haven't there? And there have been fires in the forests in Australia. And obviously now we have COVID. But you know, through all this, there are those little bits of hope, a bit like that dove, isn't there? And that rainbow. And I think, again, even in difficult times, we have to say thank you for the things that are good, even when there are horrible things like floods and fires and COVID. Because that's what Noah did, wasn't it? And I like to think that that little picture there of Noah, I don't know if shall I hold it forward for you?
Yeah.
That little picture of Noah, don't want to fall down the stairs, is Noah saying thank you to God by sending the dove out. It just happened to be on the front of our book. Do you know, Anne, I do love that story, and that isn't just one leper like last week saying thank you to Jesus. This is Noah saying thank you to God about the whole of creation, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is a big, big thank you.
Yeah. And I always think that when we see a rainbow in the sky, hope. I think
so
that
why don't we this time, before we meet again, every time we see that rainbow, if we just remember to say thank you for something, because there's lots of rainbows around this time of year.
Absolutely, yes.
I saw about 3 yesterday when I was driving around.
Yep.
So,
there we are. So
brilliant. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So I feel now that I'm ready to sing a song.
Can't be anything else.
My favourite part. Let's sing.
And so we come to our song, which couldn't be anything else other than Who Put the Colours in the Rainbow. And we have got some lovely rainbow streamers. Helen's got some as well. And so here we have the music. Here we go.
Here I am. Who put the colours in the rainbow? Who put the salt into the sea? Who put the cold into the snowflakes? Who made you and me? Who put the hump upon the camel? Who put the neck on the giraffe? Who put the tail upon the monkey? Who made hyenas laugh? Ha ha ha! Who made whales and snails and quails? Who made hogs and dogs and frogs? Who made bats and rats and cats? Who made everything? Music! Internet! Dance! I do like these ribbons. You can do some great shapes with them, can't you? Who put the gold into the sunshine? Who put the sparkle in the stars? Who put the silver in the moonlight? Who made Earth and Mars? Who put the scent into the roses? Who put the honeybee to dance? Who put the tree inside the acorn? It surely can't be chance. Who made seas and leaves and trees? Who made snows and winds that blow? Who made streams and rivers flow? God made all the thieves. Who put the colours in the rainbow? Who put the salt into the sea? Who put the cold into the snowflakes? Who made you and me? Who put the hump upon the camel? Who put the neck on the giraffe? Who put the tail upon the monkey? Who made hyenas laugh? Who made seas and leaves and trees? Who made snow and winds that blow? Who made streams and rivers flow? God made all of these. God made all of these. One more time. God made all of these. All about rainbows. How brilliant. Thank you for choosing that one out. He did. Now, we haven't brought our prayer trees with us today because we are in church and not at the house. So we're going to write the prayers on the doves, aren't we? Because we thought these were really lovely. And then we can hang these just with a little bit of cotton on our prayer trees. And we were having a little think about maybe some of the prayers that we could say. And I do think with that wonderful story of Noah that I want to pray for the whole of creation.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Good.
Shall I put that on one of mine?
I think I'd like to give thanks for hope, for the hope that we have, that God gives us each and every day.
So I do you need a pen? Or have
I've got one here.
So we're giving thanks for creation, because that was what Noah was really saving for God, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And giving thanks to God for hope and praying for hope, because do you know, we have had a really tough year, haven't we? For everyone, it's been a difficult year, and maybe this is the time of year to look forward and to hope that next year will be better.
Yeah.
And then, how about staying safe, because Noah kept everyone safe on the ark, didn't he?
Yep.
And I think when we talk about our rainbows and all those who look after us, it is all about staying safe. So, yes, let's pray for
safety.
For safety, yes, that's really good. And that will just remind us all what we need to do to keep each other safe as well. You know, just the hand washing, and at the moment
Hands,
I can't.
space.
Yes, space. So Anne and I do sit at the other side of the aisle together, don't we?
Yeah,
so we lead worship together, but we can't actually sit too close. So there we go. So there are our doves. Now, shall I say some prayers today?
You lead the prayers.
Lovely.
I'll hold on to them, shall I?
And then I might have to, yes, you hold them, because I want to do a nice big amen at the end.
Okay.
Whereas you might have to hold the doves today. Okay. So let us pray. Creator God, we give thanks for the wonderful world in which we live, for the whole of your creation. Help us, like Noah, to make it, to keep it beautiful and to look after it. And we also give you thanks for hope that we see in everything around us, especially at this difficult time. Help us to just see little glimmers of hope in everything around us. And finally, we thank you for keeping us safe, for looking after us, just as Noah looked after his family and all the animals on the ark. We know that you will keep us safe as well, and thank you for all those that help you to keep us safe. And then I'm going to say, and Anne can't do it with me, a nice big Amen! I did a nice really big one because Anne couldn't do hers. So Anne, next time we're going into December, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
And we're going to start to talk about Advent, because by then you would have all had your Advent calendars, and we've started opening them.
Yes.
So maybe we'll look at patience.
Very good at that.
Yeah, I know, and you know, maybe taking things a little bit slower. And actually, I've got a surprise for you next time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me what it is?
No,
Oh, come
I'm
on.
not.
I can't wait.
No, I'm not. You'll have to wait. You'll have to wait. So let's join together again in December.
Yep.
And I will bring you your surprise.
Wow. Look forward to it.
Right. Bye, everyone.